Right, I'm really sorry. I started filming this video, and while I was sorting things out and talking you through the stages, I looked up and it wasn't even filming. So I'm really, really sorry. I will now go through it and explain it stage by stage of how I've got this far with one of these new boxes that Shaylyn gave me. And I'm really sorry, but what I want you to do is, if you measure from the front of the box all the way around to the tip of here, to the lid, and then you need to add an half an inch on either end, so an extra inch to cut it a little bit longer. Cut a rectangle for the length you need. When you've done that, I glue the paper and then attach, but don't glue the very end of it, but attach the box to the paper and wrap it all the way around until what you've done is you've got that, right? So you've done that. When you've done that, then you need to trim half a centimetre all the way around, leaving just enough to turn over, like I've done. Once you've trimmed that, then you need to just snip little snips, and making sure that they get a little bit smaller as you're going round the edges. When it's flat, you can do about a centimetre. As you go around the edging, do them smaller gaps between each one, you know, smaller ones. And then start from the middle, or glue that, and then start from the middle and push your thumb onto the wood and then bend it over so that it's actually giving you a fantastically neat edge. Look, it's really, really neat, that. And then that's what you do, and you do exact same thing. Now what I do with the front panel, I pull the box lid back, right, and then I just cut a centimetre, a centimetre, and follow the shape, just like you've done the top. You're doing it with the bottom for the front panel. Snip those, making sure you do them small. I don't know if you see what I've done. You see there, I've cut them, snipped them, and then just glue them and stick them in with your thumb, pressing onto the edge of the box and pushing them over so that they actually leave a really, really neat edge. And then this is the stage I got to now. I've just turned this over, so now it's all stuck to the box like that. Okay, so a rectangle piece, you want it to be half an inch bigger on both ends. And then what you do, that leaves you enough space. You trim to a centimetre all the way around that lid. You pull that back and you trim exactly the same. When you've done that, then you snip all the way across like that, and then glue it again, and then just push your thumb into the wood and flip over the little flaps, and you end up with a really neat edge. If you're doing it with paper, remember that certain papers will bubble, but if you brush the glue on like I've done, and then really, really work it before you put the ends over, really work it so it's nice and smooth, you can brush out a lot of the air holes. Right, what you do then, you're now going to do this side. Now I've cut off the corners before I did that. So then what you're going to do is just to snip it into like you're doing a V. Like an envelope, that's what I call them. And then, again, because you've got a curve, you then need to, if you can watch what I'm doing, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to start on this end, which is the front panel. And where it meets, see there, where this wood meets the plywood, you just snip. In fact, just snip that for now, because you need to chop that with a knife. And watch what I'm doing. You do the same technique. Because it's a bend, you need it to be neat, so snip it small. Okay, and work round the bend, the curve, or whatever you want to call it. And you want to do it to about the top of here, the top of this. Which I can, no, that's it. and get one more out, I think. And do that on both sides. So I'm just going to, now I've shown you, and just look, see what I've done. You've got this, like a feather thing. So now I'm just going to quickly show you. Don't do them too wide because they won't have a nice neat finish. And I'm just going to snip that off at the beginning there. And sort that out later. Now what you need to do is to glue that. So you take your brush, obviously, and glue your little bits you've just cut. Put plenty on, let it soak if it's paper, and if it's card you can still put plenty on. And by the time I've done this one, the first one I've just done will be ready to bend. Okay? And that's all I'm doing. So I'm just gluing them bits. Right, go back to this one. Now don't start at the end. Start on the curve, the middle of the curve, and push. Might have to do two together, but they will overlap automatically. From the edge of the paper, of the wood, push that and press that down, and then slowly work around, but pushing it into the shape of this, and you get a really neat edge. Okay, so that's what you've got. And then just go back, because some people start at the end and you end up and it's skew iffy, it don't look right. Start in the middle, because that's the easiest and the neatest way to do it. Okay, leave that odd flap there because that one will tuck in, or we can tuck that in now. Just lift it around there, the bend like that, and tuck that in there. Okay, that will be fine. Go to this end again, start in the middle and put them down. And if you're pushing onto the edge, the very edge of the wood, it will automatically shape it for you, and it will finish really, really neat. Tuck that in there. You can trim all that off, yeah, but I'm going to put a cover in the middle anyway, so it doesn't matter. And there you go, that's what you end up with, your ends like that, and it's really neat. And then what you're going to do, finish off, is to just glue these again. I'd already glued them, but it dried. Okay, glue the other side. And then lay this down to do this. Wrap that over, pushing it into the wood, so you're lifting it around the wood and flattening it around the wood. Okay? Sorry if you're not seeing this, I'm trying. That's it, like that. So you're just pulling that in. Okay? Now of course you've got holding it because it's had the string in it. So what you need to do is now to gauge it and push the holes back through. You more or less feel them under paper. When it's card it's a lot more difficult, but you can go from the inside out. But we'll just do this for now. Like that. You're just pushing those back in. Now I've got some gold thread here, elasticated thread, which I'm going to use. Oh, but first of all you need to get your handle. Now let's decorate the handle. I've done this before, you've seen me do it. Pop a spike, this is one I use for fossiling, in there, and oops, nearly lost my glue gun. And then what I'm going to do is, now let me just see, what shall I do with it? I don't want to paint it, I'm going to emboss it. Okay, so I've got some embossing powders here, and I think the bronze will look nice with this. just get my, look at this, this is what happens with my tray, it gets filled with all sorts. Just everything. Right, so I'm just going to stick that on there because it's just a handle. Okay, now this is where it's tricky because I've got to, where's my Versamark pen? Versamark. I had them, let me just see, that in one of these. Versamark pens, there we go. I'm going to get these out. And the perfect medium because I'm going to need that as well. Need some more. Ooh, it's filthy, my tub. So what I'm going to do is just take this and it's the edges really, around the edges. I'm just going to pencil that in. Do it like you're drawing it, colouring it in. And then I'm going to just dip that onto there. That should have worked. Pop that into my colour. Give it a shape, make sure there's no bits on it. Take my heat gun. Oh, I get all these wires in it. This is why I want my own room so I can... Right. And all I'm going to do is just heat that. While it's hot, dip it once more, really quick. I'm just going to wait for that. I'll just pop it in my little tub here and wait for that to... oops, not missed a bit there, just a minute. I'm just going to wait for that to cool down because I do need to wipe it with the pen again. Okay. I'll just pop that there. Oh, that one's a newer one, so I don't need one. And this is what's... these are so easy to do. It should have cooled down by now. I'm sure it has. And when you've missed a little bit, just go over it with the pen. Just a little bit. And it's just around the edge. Hopefully that's got it all. Okay, wrong pen. Wrong lid, should I say. Dip that back in. It's a lot easier to use it like this. And then just reheat that. And then leave that to cool. And there you are, what I've done is to cover that handle, which is what I want. Pop that away while I can, put the Versamark away. I didn't need the tray, I thought I was going to use it but I didn't, but it doesn't matter. Right, so then like I say, what we're going to do now is to pop in this thread. Now, this is only thin and the holes are quite big. I don't have any other. So all I'm going to do is tie the knot in the end. And then I'll just keep knotting it until there's a fairly big knot there. And I do want the gold. I don't have any bronzy coloured trim that's elasticated, so I'm going to have to use this. It just means putting a few extra knots in it, which is nothing. Going off, ladies and gents, I'm back in a minute.